Antonio Mejorado, and in this tutorial we will see the use of parameters as a reference. Okay, so let's see this example. I have an number variable defined in the main, and I display the value of that variable. Actually, if I compile this program, it compiles, and if I execute it, that is in main, it has a 0. Why? Well, actually, it has a 0 because at this moment there is a 0 in that variable. Why? I don't know. It's just because by chance. So let's suppose that I define a number like a 5. Okay. If I didn't initialize this variable, so it run and it displays whatever is inside. Now it will display the 5. So if I compile, execute it, it's a 5 in main. Okay. So my variable, it's a 5. Okay. Well, now let's suppose that I have another function that has a parameter, an integer parameter, I value. Okay. And let's suppose that I increase I value and I displace in the function I value. Okay. Okay. So this is the parameter. I increase the value and I display the value. So cambia, sorry, that has to be changed. Change has to be to change. Well, because change is changing this value to, it's increasing this value by 1, so it's changing. So let's suppose that I use change by passing my parameter I number. Okay. So if I compile the program, compiles, and if I execute it, I'm passing this 5. So in my main, it's a 5. I'm passing a 5, but it changes to 6. So in the function now is 6. Okay. So if I copy this in main after the change, okay, let's suppose that I want to display the value of I number before and after changing. Okay, let me compile this program, then execute it. So I number is 5, it displays a 5, here you see. Then I change the number, so it displays a 6 in the function. Then when I return from change, I will display the value I number, and it is a 5. Why? Why didn't change it? Well, because when I copy this value I number to I value, it is a copy actually. So it copies the value from this variable to this variable and uses in here. Okay? But if you change the copy value, not the original value. Okay? So in the previous video we saw that whenever you want to use an array and whenever you want to change the array in a function and you want to play with the capacity, you can have less or more than, you can get any number of elements. Well, but that will be using the reference value. So in this case, I'm talking about that one because in that previous video we saw the copy by reference option in parameters. So if I change here and I put a ampersand, I'm saying that this variable is actually the original I number. Okay? So when I change I number in here, and I'm trying to change I value, I am really changing I number. So if I compile the program again and I execute it, you will see that you have a 5 in the main, then you call the change, and the change changes the value to 6. But when you return from the change, now you have a 6. So compare with the previous one. Before you have a 5. Now you have a 6 because you use the option ampersand here. That means I'm having the control of the original variable. Which one? The one that I use here. Here. So when I use change and I send this parameter to this variable, with this ampersand I'm saying I have the control of this variable. So if I change a value here, I'm actually changing a number in the original scope. So this is the scope of the main. So when I use ampersand here, my scope of this variable is this, but I'm changing the value of this variable. This is called passing of parameters by reference. So this is a reference to this variable here. Okay. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. It's a little more abstracted than some others. So keep using this reference passing by reference parameter by any other time you need to change the original variable. Okay. See you guys.